Look, may I say immodestly, I know a little bit about education and how to get results, but I'm literally fed up to the back teeth, and I feel for parents who don't know where to turn. Everywhere education is discussed, there's talk that the answer is more money, or teachers need to be better trained, or there needs to be less administrative work for teachers. I've got every sympathy for teachers and the confused and confusing world in which they operate, but how can commentators or bureaucrats say with a straight face that Australian teachers work 45 hours a week on average during school terms? 45 hours, where do you get that job? But spend only 40% of their time, that's 18 hours, in face-to-face lessons, working 45 hours a week. Okay. The argument is the rest is spent planning lessons. What's that mean? Check your laptop. Marking exams and assignments. Does that really happen? Liaising with colleagues and parents. We now got a Productivity Commission interim report of its review. We're always reviewing stuff and ignoring reality of the National School Reform Agreement. Who has heard of the National School Reform Agreement? But it's your money, $319 billion between the Commonwealth states and territories. Began in 2019, it runs until 2023, $80 billion a year, your money. And when it comes to education, that's all they talk about, as if money will produce the best student outcomes. I've wanted to speak to the Federal Education Minister, Jason Clare. He doesn't return calls, but he also talks about money. And the Productivity Commission says we need to focus on students who've fallen behind. Well, I'm telling you, and Mark Latham will tell you, every student is falling behind. Every student is disadvantaged. We keep avoiding reality. Australian students recorded their worst results in the 2018 Program for International Student Assessment, that's these PISA tests, failing to exceed the OECD average in maths and dropping in global ranking in reading and science. But you've got people like the New South Wales Education Minister, Sarah Mitchell, still talking about funding arrangements. We've just been visited by global education leader, Andras Schleicher, the OECD's Education and Skills Director. He talked about our curriculum making learning, and I quote, often a mile wide, but just an inch deep. Now, it's never like this. Today, we spend about $120 billion on education, 120,000 million. Kids can't recite a verse of poetry. They blink when you use simple words that they've never heard of. They don't know their geography or history. They're told to learn from their laptop. Face-to-face rigorous personal instruction is kicked into the long grass, where once knowledge was hammered into people. That seems to be all over. And there's only one politician in the country, one person, talking about this, federal or state. It's the One Nation leader in New South Wales, Mark Latham. And Mark joins me. Mark, thank you always. Thank you for your work. I should just say to our viewers, I had a lot of letters. They said, what's wrong with Mark? Is Mark sick? No, not at all. He's actually very healthy and decided to do something about it. And he's had all the medical reports and you're in good shape. Confirm that for me.
Yes, Alan, 100%. Saw the GP yesterday, blood pressure 115/65, which is outstanding. And if I'm sick, the only thing I'm sick and tired of is Brad Hazzard budget estimates. So
what about that?
That's the only thing.